back to another edition of Outdoor University. I'm Charles Mills. We're here today at our local bait shop. We got hit up not too long ago by one of our subscribers, Mike. By the way, this is for you. He wanted us to do a little bass fishing from shore. He wanted to show his son, a little how-to. So we're going to do a little bit of a rubber worm bass fishing, old school style today. We're going to take you guys out. We're going to go in here. We're going to get rigged up, and we're going to hit the water. Let's take a walk. All right, what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna do a little old school bass fishing today. So we're over here in the plastics at our local bait shop. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna buy some simple plastics, rubber worms. We're gonna go out, try them out, and see what's up. Let's check out the selection that they have. What I'm looking for is, right now we have an overcast. When we have overcast, I like to use darker colors. More blacks, blues, stuff like that. So let's see what Mark has here. We're at Northeast Ohio. We're at Mark's Live Bait and Tackle. It's a really great facility here. Very knowledgeable staff, very clean, accommodates. You can hit them up at 296-330-296-FISH. He does ship. And he has almost everything that you can't find. If you can't find it, he's got it. So what we're looking for are some plastics. Some standard plastics and some standard bass hooks. There we go. We got some plastics right here. What's going on, Mark?
What's happening?
Not much. Got some lizards here. Little big. I like to use around the 7-inch size. 7 inches is good. Here's what we're looking for right here. Tequila Sunrise. I love these worms. Berkley Power Bait. One thing that you'll notice about the Power Bait is sometimes they'll be a little dried out. What I like to do is open a can of tuna. I'll buy the tuna with oil in it. Drop the little bit of that tuna oil in the bag. Work them in. You're good to go. Let's get us some hooks. Bass hooks is what we're looking for. Mark, what else are bass hooks in? Got mine? Got them right here. I got them. Okay, now here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a weightless system today. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a little oversized hook so we have a little bit of a fall rate. And I like to use the Gamos, and I like to use the blood reds. They come out really well. So let's grab some split shots just in case we got to do some Carolina rigging. A few little split shots here.
No, it's been slowing down, I know.
So yeah, I know, I gotta stock up on it now.
Yeah, we got, like I said, we'll fly every can out of that bad.
Alright.
What he does at 22.
Right.
Up our fall rate a little. We'll go here. All right, let's check out. Welcome back. We're going to do a little bit of rigging. I like to rig before we leave the bait shop or before we hit to the lake because I got anxiety. As soon as I hit that water, I like to go. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do a little bit of rigging today. We're going to show you the tips, tricks, and the techniques on this rigging. It's not just a standard float rig, okay? Like I said, there's a few little tricks to it, so let's get to it. We're starting off with our power bait today. Like I said, I like it when we have overcast. I like to use a little bit darker colors. We have a power bait, Tequila Sunrise, 7-inch. Always like to make sure my worms are fresh. They should feel a little bit oily. If they don't, go ahead and use the trick that we talked about with the tuna. Gamakatsu wide gaps, offset shanks. I like the red because the bass seem to like the color a little bit more. It mimics a wounded fish. So what we're gonna go ahead and do today, we're gonna tie your standard uni knot. That's all I do. Just go through the eyelet once, stick your finger right through, 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come back through, grab it, pull the knot. Simple, easy, quick. I've never had a fish slip that knot out. I've had them break, but never slip out the knot. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the top. We're gonna grab it. We're gonna push it all the way through. What I like to do is I like to lay the hook down and see where it's gonna fall into the bait. Then go into that rib. Come back, skin hook it. Simple, easy, very effective. Let's get to the water.
All right.
All right, just got our first bass. Tequila Sunrise floating worm. All we're doing is throwing it out there. We're letting it sit. So let's take a look at him. Nice little largemouth bass. You know, gentlemen, shore fishing is a lot of fun. It really is. You know, it's also something that you can spend time with the family. You don't have to do a lot of preparation. Grab a rod, grab some rubber worms, grab a few hooks, hit the water. Let's get back out here and see what we can get. Wow, just make sure I'm in the center of you know, all times. Get back out here and see what we can get. All we're doing is we're casting it out there when we're letting it hit the bottom. And what I do is I watch where the line touches the water and I wait for any kind of anomalies, a tick, a swim, or anything like that. And that's usually when I'll go ahead and set the hook. So we're out there. Well, we know where it's really deep here. It drops off really good. This is a secondary bank out there at probably about 10 yards out. We have a secondary bank, and I like to fish secondary banks. The reason being is because in summertime, them bass will hang off the edges and off the lips. So what I'll do is I'll send a floater down there, and then I'll just drag it across the bottom real super slow. See what we can get. That's all I do, is just wait for the line to get a tick. Like that. Watch this. Go right back at him. I can see him. He's right there. Just like that, gentlemen. Just like that. And that's how we do it at Outdoor University. Just wait for that line tick. Get this hook out of his mouth. Let's take a look at him. That's a respectable bass. Let's get him back in. Get back out there. A lot of times when I hit these under trees like this and you can't cast, I'll just grab the hook. You can just fling it on out there like that. See what we got out underneath these trees, under these overhangs. There's a lot of shade. They usually love the shade. Oop, there was he tapped it. That might have been a bluegill though. Let's get back out there, see if we can get over there by this tree. If I can get out of the tree. Weedless here. Stick them and go weedless. Remember, try to get off the beaten path, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't fish the spots that everybody else are fishing. And fish your hip to it. Make new areas. Bring a machete with you if you're allowed. Check your local regulation. Cut a new spot for yourself. Dang, that was a nice fish. He hit it hard. That was a bluegill, though. He grabbed the tail of that thing. I just seen him. One more cast and we'll move on. There you go. Now we'll catch a fish. All I'm doing is reeling, half reel, and stopping. With these weedless, let it sink to the bottom, half reel, stop, let it sink back down, half reel, stop, let it sink back down. That's all we're doing here. Waiting for any anomalies in the line, or sometimes you'll feel weight when you go to reel it. Let's move on. Like I said, we're fishing at a little drop off here. All we're doing is we're letting it drop off and we're just bringing it up. Oh, that one got my worm, a rubber worm. Just catching some bass today. I'd like to take a minute and I'd like to talk about weather. We're in pre-spawn. I'd like to take a minute and talk about weather. Right now we're in pre-spawn. These bass just left their beds, which is a really good time to use a weightless rubber worm. They're hungry, but they're not to the point where they're real aggressive to smack crankbaits yet. In the northern states. In the southern states, bass act a little bit different. The northern strain are a little bit more weary when they come off their beds. So all we're doing today is we're just hooking them weedless, throwing it out there, letting it sink. Let's get back out here so we can get another one. What's that tree? All right, I want to take a minute. We just caught another little baby one here. I want to take a minute. I want to talk about shade lines, man. They're really good late in the day, especially on days it's been really hot. I love to fish shade lines. Some fish come up in that shade, believe it or not, because not all bass go deep like people think. We'll get into that, bass fishing. There's a lot about bass fishing that we're going to get into. This video ain't going to be that long. But just remember, shade lines. It's a good thing when you're shore fishing, because sometimes you can't get to the channel lips, you can't get to the bass because you don't have a boat. You're limited to shore, but that don't mean you don't have to be productive. Let's get back at it. Come up and we'll film it. Oh, yeah. Look at that, Jack. What, motherfucker? Look at that fish. Say something about him. You're on film.
Oh,
Are you recording?
first of the day.
First of the day. Another one for Jack.
Just off the beaten path.
All right. Oh, yeah. Come on up here. There's another one, guys. All I'm doing is fishing the secondary banks. That's it. It's a nice bass. Floating rig. You can see it. Let's get him back in. Ah, it's beating me up, guys. You can usually tell when you're sighting fishing them if we got a double header. Look at that. Floating rubber worms. Dual fish. I think mine's bigger. Let's get him back in real quick here. Get Jack's off. You can always tell when the fish have been touched when they're real spooked. When you first throw in and they scatter. That means somebody's been at the spot before you. Get back in and see what we can get. Oh, here's another one, guys. Get him in. Just doing some floating worms. Really good technique for shore fishing. If you're just starting out in bass fishing or if you're really advanced. Regular floating worm. Oversized hook on it because I like the faster fall rate. Right in the pre-spawn time. Rigging it weedless. Let's get back out there. Just flip it back out there, see what we got. There's a lot of bass right here. Oh, guys, we got a tree off to our side here, and we have a sunken beaver dam. And all we're doing is fishing the beaver dam. Another good tip is when you're fishing, look for trees that beavers have chewed on in the area, and there'll usually be a dam. Not all dams are above the water. Some of them are under the water, and those are some of the most productive ones that people don't know about. Throw right on the edge of that shoreline over there. There you go. You notice there's a lip, a secondary bank that's going down, and if you notice the bigger ones are patrolling that and the smaller fish push up.
Right.
You know, that's how I usually like to smack them. I usually get out there a little bit and then I'll bring it up into that lip. And then when I get to the lip, I'll get a little more aggressive. You know, I'll like twitch it a little, and that usually makes them a little bit more angry. All right, I'm gonna go mess in the danger zone. I'm going right on top of the beaver dam. This is the danger zone right here. I'm about to get broke off. Either I'm about to catch one, he's gonna go right in the sticks. But that's where them big ones are hanging. They're living right in there. I fished this earlier this year with minnows. Sorry about that. I fished this earlier this year with minnows. I had them. And man, we caught a lot of crappies right here. Believe it or not, we was catching some really nice 17, 18 inch yellow perch right here too. I'm gonna sink it right at the end, right at the tip of that dam. I'm gonna let it drop and I'm gonna let it. Because at the tips of the dams, the sunken beaver dams, what you'll find is that's where the holes that the beaver are going into. And usually, if it's an abandoned one, there'll be a big bass back up inside of them, that dam. And that's usually a really super productive way that I find to catch some of the larger ones. On that thing, man. Watch this. I'm going to roll on it again. I will. Oh no! Oh, it's stuck. Oh, that's a nice fish too. He's right in that dam. Not on my ship. See him. He's still right there. He just got off. Watch this.
Yeah, I see him.
See him?
Yep.
Yeah, not on my shift. Snag up here. Not on my shift. He's right here. Thinks I'm stupid. There's a bunch of them by him. That's not him. He's still over there. Floating worms. Real good when you rig them weedless. This in this timber. Tuck that end back in. Let's see if we can get this 5-pound bass right here. Here's a real big one right here. Let's see if we can get him. Come on. Come on. He's just grabbing the tip of the tail. He's been hooked before. He ain't stupid. This fish has been hooked before. See if we can get him out of there. Came right up to it. Hit it. He's biting the tail. There's about a 3-pounder with him too, and a bunch of little pounders hanging right on the. That beaver dam kicks out a little. That beaver dam kicks out a little over here, and they're right in that little lip of it. Nice fish. Think we can get another one out of there? Actually, this rock bass I just caught on a worm. I sight fished him. That's how aggressive they are. It's a beautiful looking fish. I got a whole bunch of little 1 to 2 pounders over here, and I don't see, I think I lost track of the big boy. I don't know where he went. He went somewhere. See if I can get him off the tip. We'll go off the where that beaver dam starts a little. A lot of bluegills are picking it up over here, grabbing the tails. I lose a lot of worms that way because they grab the tails off of them, bite the tails off of them. He got me. 5-pounder just snapped me off. That's one thing about fishing in beaver dams is you really get a lot of wear and tear on the line, and then after a while you get that big one and he breaks you off. Heck, there's a really nice bass right there. See him?
Yep.
I think he's been swimming around down there for a minute though. Isn't that that same one that's been there?
Yeah, I've been watching him.
Here, go get him.
He came back for it.
Yeah, that was amazing. He jumped right out of the water. Beautiful. You know? Oh yeah, look at him. Oh yeah, look at him.
Came back for it.
Yes, he did, didn't he, huh?
That good guy. Take this out the same way it came in here.
One big fish.
This got into us.
Did it?
There we go.
There you go, little fishy. Now, go tell your grandpa. Me and you, him want to talk. I'd like to have a meeting with him. Tell your great granddaddy that the university has a meeting with him. We want to talk.
Nice.
There he is. Another one.
He's
I'm
gonna
making
take
him
it.
really mad right now. He's getting upset, Jack. He's getting really upset. Now that bass right there, this bass right here has been swimming in front of us for all day. All day. And I finally got him. He thought he was a smart one.
He did.
Outdoor University, baby. Jack, you gotta check this one. You can make this one angry enough.
Oh, sure. Here comes a real big one.
Yeah.
Right out past my line.
Oh, I see him. Right there, huh? Got him. Get him.
Nope. I don't
No,
know if this is
snag?
fish. No. Snag or a stick.
Are you sure? Because dude, there's big bass in there, big cats in there too, bro. Oh no, that's a stick. Jack with the biggest stick of the day.
Got the biggest stick.
Jack's like, I got the biggest stick.
Get that stick out of there.
Hey, if you're not catching sticks and you're bass fishing, you're just not fishing because the bass are hanging on the stick. Look how beautiful this cove is. I'd like to take a minute and talk about a lot of you fishermen who know what you're doing, who have the time. There might be a child you know, a neighbor kid, or somebody, even an adult, that just don't have anybody to take them fishing. If you get a chance, take somebody fishing. Take a kid fishing. Line, hook, night crawler, and a bobber. Let the kid catch fish. You know? It's a good way to get them off the streets and maybe into something healthy. Never know, you might get one of them addicted like me.
Addicted to fishing.
Addicted to fishing. One thing you gotta remember is as it gets later in the day, them fish will start pushing up a little more. There's a nice bass for you guys. They'll start pushing up a little bit more. I'm into the shallows where you don't really need to get out to them. See if we can get another one. Floating worm, simple and easy. Let's get that big one. Well, that's going to do it for today, this episode. I'd like to give a special thanks to Mike, our subscriber. We did this for you. A little bass fishing from shore. He hit us up. He wanted us to do a little bass fishing from shore to show his kid, maybe learn himself so he can teach his children. Remember, small carbon footprint. Take care of your environment, gentlemen. Take only what you need. Give back. And God bless. I'm Charles Mills from Outdoor University. I'll see you later.